Hello, everyone. This is Tara, and this is Stroke of Genius, a memoir. Today, I want to talk about um, the maybe grief process that sometimes happens when you have had a, a big medical insistent or incident, or you have had a diagnosis. So maybe you've had a stroke or a heart attack, or you have a diagnosis of ALS or cancer or something, and anything that has changed the trajectory of your life. I'm going to talk through some of the process. Uh, this is the channel where I talk about my stroke recovery and my aphasia, apraxia, and foreign accent syndrome. If you take a moment to like this video and take and subscribe to the channel, I appreciate this. So let me now share with you um, some little bit background and something that happened with me and my close friend and my children this weekend. So my background is working as a priest in a church, and I'm no longer affiliated with any religion. But I learned lots of lessons in this kind of experience. As you can imagine, and 14 years of ministry, I did lots of funerals and worked with families uh, before someone has passed in, um, and this is okay. I was never really bothered as people think I am about the process of grieving. I can describe the experience of grief within some brackets. So, if someone has died uh, suddenly, for this example, you have begin a bracket. You have the death and the sadness and the surprise and um, the experience of family together and getting through that initial grief that can be very difficult. Part of this bracket is also now, except it is part of the busy work. There's lots of things that have to happen. You have to deal with the funeral home, and you have to deal with the government and the banking and the estate and things. So you get very busy, and then you kind of go into a neutral place of waiting. So you're in the waiting place. Since uh, COVID, a lot of people started putting off their funeral or their celebration of life or their gathering after somebody who has died. This this leaves people into the waiting place for a long time. The bracket closes after you have the final part of the funeral, whether that's cremation or burial. and whatever tradition or celebration you want to have, you come together with your family and perhaps just a few close friends or big gathering. It is an opportunity to kind of grieve together and to mourn the loss of the person, as well as to start thinking now, what does your life look like now from you from next part of your life without that person. I'm going to say that well, I talked to this example in, a self death or a surprising death. It can also happen when it comes to losing part of your um, your health. I worked sometimes with a woman who got mastectomy because she had cancer, aggressive form of cancer, and one mastectomy is medically perhaps needed, but she had to choose to get both breasts taken off, because the chances of it being also in the other breasts was very high. Uh, and I went through process with her about acknowledging everything that she left, was leaving, and what she was losing in having the mastectomy. So we thought about all of the things that the breast is for her. It was her sexuality. It was her identity from, the time when she was like 14, 15 and starting to have breasts and having attention for that. She talked about being able to nurse her babies and how meaningful that was, and uh, so they represented her children in this way, and so we went through all of those things that she just kind of knew that she was meeting. Now they wouldn't let us take the breast tissue, but we did. We took the reports and we buried them, and we had uh, closure. Closure. So we closed the bracket. The beginning of the bracket was her diagnosis, and then she did all of the uh, busy work that was required to making all the doctor's appointments, getting all the tests, all of the preparation, and then uh, and then we had this waiting time before she could actually have the mastectomy, and then she had the mastectomy, and then we had this kind of liturgy, a little service to memorialize what she had lost, and then to be able to move out from that place into who she will be for the rest of her life, and what the identity is. This past weekend, I acknowledged with my very close family and friend together just kind of this experience. So I begin my bracket from when I woke up in the morning knowing that I'd had a stroke and that I had lost my family, my facilitate to do language. I lost aphasia. That was quite so awful in the beginning. I could not put words together. I have apraxia, so sometimes I have the mechanics of my speech gets very difficult. And then 3 months after the stroke, I have foreign accent syndrome. And so, just for for those who haven't heard yet, but I'm third Canadian, third generation Canadian from Hamilton, Ontario, now living in Calgary. And now I feel like I sound like someone East European. I don't know. In addition to my able to speak, is that I can't write. I have very difficult putting sentence together, um, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to make it better. So um, after the stroke, I did all of the busy things. I was in rehabilitation for a month. Then I started with speech therapy twice a week with a counselor, with my recreation therapist. I did all of the work. I have follow up with all of my doctors and additional tests and all those kinds of things. I was doing the busy work uh, as as one does after someone has died. So I equate dealing with the funeral home and the government and the banking to the kind of work, the busy work that I continued. What was not um, happening was any bracket. There was no going to be some finish. I don't know if I'm ever going to be cured. I don't know if I will be able to speak. Uh, I don't know if I will have moments of confusion. I don't know if I will be able to do simple numbers again. I don't know. I don't know if all of the lyrics of all of my songs will still come back to my brain. I don't know. But even the fact that I know that I'm going to continue to living. I know that I'm going to have to find way to continue on this new trajectory. It is not what I was planning. As someone who was a public speaker, someone who was writing for a novel, I've lost those abilities. But there has to be a life. So this last weekend, my very good friend, retired minister, helped um, create a sacred space for me. I could uh, kind of say good goodbye to the person that the things that I lost at the November during after the stroke, and be mourn them, and to also be hopeful for what is going to happen. I did this by talking about the two things that I lost most, and that is my ability to communicate, mostly in my speech, which I was very proud of, as well my ability to write and to make um, beautiful things writing. However, I don't know if I will be able to do this now. Maybe they will be get back sometimes. That would be nice. But I have to live. I have to live. I have to stop being able to just do the busy work. I need to do the living. So for me, I represented this by ripping out a, a sermon that I had written for many years, maybe 6, 7 years ago, because it represent my ability to write beautiful things as well as speak those words, because I wrote the sermon and then I spoke the sermon. And it was very good. It was very meaningful to me to symbolically leave those things goodbye. And I put them in the fire. After I'd spoken about my loss, my children was able to talk about this as well. My I have a son at 25 and a son who is 26. Uh, my oldest boy was the one who was with me on the day of my stroke, and he said he was able to uh, figure out that I was still there, because even though I couldn't say words, I couldn't get my message out. Apparently, I was still joking with the nurses, and apparently, I thought I was myself very hilarious, even though I didn't know anything I was doing. Anyway, and um, he was comforted by the fact that uh, knowing that I was still joking with my sense of humor, that the essence of me was still there. Um, my younger son, he's the one who spent all years, 6 years, uh, transcribing all of my sermons every week. I had to write everything, but with a pen. And then I would give it to my son, and he was a 100-word typist. So he would type out the and then I didn't read sermons. I'm not that kind of person, but at least kept me in track. and then and then people could read along if they wanted after the service. I said, no, you can't actually read it while I'm talking, because I'm not that kind of preacher anyway. Um, so he knows of my ability of the beautiful words more than anyone else, and he reminded me that I still have them. It's just different now. After we went to the fire, and my friend Brian made some beautiful poems, I will link them. I don't want to read them in this, only because it's so beautiful. It should be read by somebody who's has beautiful voice. But I will put a link to those poems that are so beautiful about um, every morning your identity shines every day. And I try to remember that I still shine when I wake up. And now I will start having a new way of being creative and in relationship. It will be different, but it will be okay. As we ended this evening, my my beautiful Brian and his lovely wife made a beautiful dinner for us to have, and gave us this beautiful pashina, pamish. I'm going to not get this word. And the one he gave me four to choose, and this is like hot pink and beautiful, and it's me because I'm still that person that is vibrant, and I am now robed with my new identity as I figure out this new trajectory that I am going on now. I'm hopeful that this will help you find a way to acknowledge and grieve the things that have you off take off your anticipated trajectory, whatever that's an accident or a disease or um, there's many things. Okay, okay, you can be sad, you should be sad, but now we have to find the life in this new trajectory. If you want some advice to do this, please help me. You get in touch with me. I have some expertise in these, and I would be helpful, or I would be honored to help you. Thank you for taking your time. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you find it helpful. If you could take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, I appreciate it. And thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk soon. Bye.